Hello everybody, and today I am going to tell you about the necessary and sufficient condition for differentiability. What are the necessary conditions for a function to be differentiable and what are the sufficient conditions for a function to be differentiable? Already I have told you a function f of xy is said to be differentiable at a b if f of a plus h b plus k minus f of a b is equal to ah plus bk plus h phi of hk plus k psi of hk. If this condition is satisfied or if this condition is valid, then the function f of xy is said to be differentiable at a b. But question is that what is a, what is b, what is phi, what is psi? Here a is equal to fx at ab, that means partial derivative of f with respect to x at the point ab, and b is equal to fy at ab. And what are phi and psi? Phi of hk and psi of hk are the two functions such that as limit hk tends to 0, 0, this function equal to 0. Also the same thing, limit hk tends to 0, 0, psi of hk is also equal to 0. That means phi and psi are two functions which depends upon functions of h and k, such that as limit hk tends to 0, 0, both phi of hk and psi of hk tends to 0. And here capital A is the partial derivative of f with respect to x at ab, and b is the partial derivative of f with respect to y at ab. If this condition is valid, that means if LHS or RHS, then the function f of xy is said to be differentiable at the point ab. Clear? This is the definition. And now I will tell you what is the necessary condition for a function to be differentiable. Okay. See, this is the first theorem. If a function f of xy is differentiable at ab, then that function is also continuous at ab. That means every differentiable function is continuous. And already you have read this theorem in one variable. In plus 2 also you have read, but in plus 2 it is without proof. Only the statement was required, and in real analysis already you have done the proof. Here, see here, very simple theorem. Given f of xy is differentiable at ab, so therefore f of a plus h b plus k minus f of ab is equal to ah plus bk plus h into phi of hk plus k into psi of hk. You should write this one, and where you should write limit hk tends to 0, 0, phi of hk is equal to 0 is equal to limit hk tends to 0, 0, psi of hk. Here. Now, taking the limit as hk tends to 0, 0 on both sides, what you will get? Take the limit hk tends to 0, 0. I am taking limit on both the sides of equation 1, f of a plus h b plus k minus f of a b is equal to, you are taking hk tends to 0, 0, so this quantity is 0, this quantity is equal to 0, so this one also 0, this one also 0, so is equal to 0. And here there is no h or k, that means limit hk tends to 0, 0, f of a plus h b plus k is equal to f of a b. And this is the definition of continuity of the function f of xy. That means if a function is differentiable at a b, then it is also continuous at a b. It implies f of xy is continuous at AB. Clear? And this is the second theorem for necessary condition for differentiability. If a function f of xy is differentiable at AB, then the necessary condition is that the function should possess partial derivatives, that is fx and fy at AB. If the function is differentiable at AB, then fx and fy should exist at AB. Here, see here, given the function f of xy is differentiable at AB. So therefore, f of a plus h b plus k minus f of AB should be equal to ah plus bk plus h into phi of hk plus k into psi of hk. Here, what are A and B? Where A and B are constants independent of h and k. A and B does not depend upon h and k. Here, so let s tends to 0. And what are phi and psi? Already I have told you phi of hk and psi of hk tends to 0 as s tends to hk tends to 0, 0. So let s tends to 0, therefore limit s tends to 0, f of a plus h b plus k minus f of a b is equal to, if you are taking h equal to 0, or I am taking, first of all I am taking k tends to 0, then after that you can take, so limit k tends to 0. Here, so if you take k is equal to 0, so what you will get? I am writing directly, so this term will become f of a plus h b, this one, and the right hand side k is equal to mean this term vanishes, this term also vanishes, and remain ah plus h into phi of h0. Here, now divide both sides by h, you will get f of a plus h. Very simple theorem, only it will take 1 or 2 minutes to prove. I am dividing h on both the sides, you will get a plus phi of h0, and take limit as h tends to 0, f of a plus hb minus f of ab divided by h is equal to a. Why? Because a is a constant, so limit of a is equal to a, and if you take the limit of this one as h tends to 0, it will become 0, because I have told you limit hk tends to 0, 0, phi of hk is equal to 0. So first of all you have to, I have put k tends to 0, then now I am putting limit h tends to 0, so automatically this function will vanish, so you will get a. And what is this? This is fx at ab is equal to a. Clear? That means if the function is differentiable at ab, then fx at ab must exist. Otherwise, if this will not exist, that means a does not exist. A is not defined. And if a is not defined, then this equation is invalid. As a result, the function is not differentiable at ab. So, if the function is differentiable, then it must possess the partial derivatives. So, similarly, if we take s tends to 0 first, then proceeding similarly, we can get fy at ab is equal to b. Okay, that means if a function is differentiable at ab, then both the partial derivatives, fx del f by del x at AB and del f by del y at AB must exist. Clear? See here, this is sufficient condition for differentiability. Under what condition a function f of xy is said to be differentiable at AB? The condition is that fx at AB should exist and fy that means del f by del y is continuous at AB. If these two conditions are satisfied, then the function f of xy is differentiable at AB. Clear? F of xy is said to be differentiable at AB if these two conditions will satisfy. That means fx at AB exists and fy means del f by del y is continuous at AB. Clear? Now, fy is continuous at AB. I am taking the second condition. Given fy at xy, f is a function of xy and del f by del y is continuous at AB. Continuous at AB means it should continuous at the neighborhood of AB. So let a plus h and b plus k be a neighborhood of AB. So now f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of AB can be written as f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of a plus h, b plus f of a plus h, b minus f of a b. I am separating this one and adding this one. Clear? So it may not be visible. I am writing here minus f of a b. Clear? So there are two parts. Take this as the first part and this as the second part. So for the first part, we should apply the mean value theorem. So by mean value theorem, f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of a plus h, b. I have already proved the mean value theorem in my previous video. So it will be better for you. First you should watch that video and then do this theorem. So here the value x remains constant and y varies. So b plus k and here it is b but the x remains constant. So it will become this minus this k into f dash derivative of f and derivative of f with respect to y, not with respect to x because x is a constant. So with respect to y means fy. I can write del by del y and x remains constant f plus h and this is b plus theta 1 k. And what is theta 1? Already I have told you. Here theta 1 is less than 1 and greater than 0. And in my previous video, I have already explained why theta 1 lies between theta 1 lies between 0 and 1. Okay. So k into fy, a plus h, comma b plus theta k. So this is the value of the first part. Clear? See here, this one I am taking equation 1, this one is equation 2. And tell me, what is the definition of continuity? When a function f is said to be continuous at AB, if a plus h, b plus k, limit of this one, limit x k tends to 0, 0, is equal to f of AB. Now, this is the definition of continuity of the function f of xy at AB. And if I take this one as fx, so this will become fx. If this one as fy, this will become fy. Clear? If f is continuous, then it will become f of a plus and b plus k limit x tends to 0, 0 is equal to this one. If I say if fx is continuous at a b, then this will become like this. And if fy is continuous, then it should write like this. Clear? So I am applying this definition. Let us take fy a plus h b plus theta 1k minus fy at ab is equal to psi of xk. I am taking this one as psi of xk. So now taking the limit as xk tends to 0, 0. fy a plus h b plus theta 1k, and there is no hk here, so it will remain as it is. Fy at ab is equal to, this one will become limit hk tends to 0, 0 psi of xk. Clear? Now it implies I am taking this one on the left hand side, I am writing this one. Limit hk tends to 0, 0 psi of hk is equal to, and given if y is continuous at ab, if y is continuous at ab means this quantity will become fy at ab. Fy at ab. This one. Already I have told you that. So the second part is fy at ab. So this minus this is equal to 0. So that means limit hk tends to 0, 0 psi of hk is equal to 0. Clear? See, I am taking this equation as equation 3, this one. So now already you have proved limit hk tends to 0, psi of hk is equal to 0. Okay. So see here, I am going to first condition. Now we are dealing with the second condition, this one. Now given fx at ab exists, that is limit x tends to 0 f of a plus h b minus f of ab divided by h is equal to fx at ab. That is the definition. Already fx at ab exists, so this is the definition of fx at ab. So take fx at ab to left hand side, and so that the right hand side will become 0, and instead of 0 I am taking function of h, so that function tends to 0 as h tends to 0. That means let f of a plus h b minus f of ab divided by h minus fx at ab, I am taking f of phi of h, because all total a and t are constants 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, 5, 7, but here h is the variable, so this one will be a function of h. And if I take h tends to 0, what will you get? If I take h tends to 0, that means this quantity will be equal to fx at ab. So fx at ab minus fx at ab, so that phi of h tends to 0. So here, as h tends to 0, phi of h tends to 0. This quantity tends to 0. Because limit of this one as h tends to 0 is fx at ab. And this is fx at ab. So fx at ab minus fx at ab will be equal to 0. So phi of h tends to 0. Clear? So now, I have proved that this phi tends to 0 as h tends to 0. Now see here, from equation 2 and 3, equation 2, f of a plus h b plus k minus f of a plus h b is equal to k into f y at a plus h b plus theta k. fy at a plus theta is b plus theta 1 k. This one you will take fy minus of fy ab to right hand side. So it will become fy at ab plus psi of hk. Clear? Then multiply this one. Because k fy at ab plus k psi of hk. Clear? So this part, value of this part becomes this one. And what is this? Here, see in the equation 1. This one. A plus h, f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of a plus h, b. f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of a plus h, b. This one becomes k into fy at a b plus k into psi of hk. Here. And the second part, already I have done here. So see here. Now, from equation 1, we have f of a plus h, b plus k minus f of a b. Already we have done it. The theorem is already been proved. So in place of this one, I am writing this one. K into fy at ab plus k into psi of hk plus and f of a plus is b minus f of ab. It is h into fx at ab minus plus h into phi of h. Clear? So now, what you have to do? F of a plus h b plus k minus f of ab is equal to k into fy at ab plus k into psi of hk plus h into fx at ab plus h into phi of h. What is our definition? Who can tell me? See here. Our definition was f of a plus h b plus k minus f of ab for differential condition. Equal to ah plus bk plus h into phi of hk plus k into psi of hk. Clear? And when a is equal to fx at ab and b was fy at ab. See here? And these two functions tends to 0 as hk tends to 0, 0. Already I have done it. In terms of fx at ab into h. Fx at ab into h. This one, the first part. B into k. What is B? Fy at ab into k. Fy at ab into k. This is the second part. And h into phi of hk. H into phi of hk. And condition is that that function tends to 0 as hk tends to 0, 0. So here I have already proved phi of h tends to 0 as h tends to 0. Clear? So this one is the third part. And the fourth part, k into psi of hk, k into psi of hk. And already I have proved that psi of hk tends to 0 as hk tends to 0, 0. That means, see here, that means f of xy is differentiable R ab. So hence the theorem is proved. Clear? See here, we have proved the necessary condition for differentiability and sufficient condition for differentiability. So your differentiability chapter is over. Clear? So please read the theorem and write it down so that you can do the next theorems in homogeneous functions and in change of variable also. Clear?